On today's Glory Days show, the New York Jets, I'm sorry, it's time for the 2015 baseball extravaganza as we begin talking to reporters from around the country.
We get the ball rolling with reports from the Mariners in Seattle, the Cardinals in St. Louis, and our own Bobby Baseball will break down the New York Mets.
That's great. Over the course of the next few weeks, we'll hear from correspondents in Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, Boston, and Miami.
So sit back, relax, Glory Days coming up right now. Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, March 14th, 2015. Happy Pie Day.
Pie Day, okay.
And you're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend Bruce Oler. And you are joining us, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Enravio TV network, where we broadcast to the world from the Enravio studios at the Village Music Shopping, right here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island in the great state of New York. Hope you got a chance to celebrate National Pie Day. It was about 34 minutes ago.
Unbelievable.
Right? You get one more chance tonight.
I guess at 9:26
p.m.
Okay.
So 3.141592653 are the first 10 digits in pi.
Looks like the first 9 digits, what
Yeah,
it says, according to the teleprompter there.
Don't listen to that. But do you know what pi is? Don't read it.
I know it has something to do with circumference and circles and all kinds of other stuff like that.
Yes, it's the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter.
Okay.
Everybody get that?
All I know is that if I was doing a song today, it would be American Pie.
American Pie.
Okay.
There you go.
And I think I'll go home today and watch the movie Life of Pi.
Life of Pi, huh? I thought you were going to watch American Pie.
Well, I could do that too, I guess.
There's like 5 of them. So at 9:26 and 53 seconds on March 14th of 2015, we hit the magic number.
Wow.
3.14159.
Maybe I'll play those numbers today.
You know, there's an argument in the mathematic community, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because if you extrapolate it to the 11th digit, the 11th digit is a 5, which means that if you only use 10 digits, you're supposed to round it up.
Where is Leonard Nimoy when we need him? You know?
I don't know, can you do that?
The Life of Spock.
Live long and prosper? I don't know, I could only do it if I put my fingers like that.
Oh, I could do it. I could do it pretty easy.
You do. You're very good at it. All righty. So how are you?
I'm doing good. I know you were down in Florida last week, and I've been dying to hear what it was like.
I have to tell you, man, I don't know why we're here in New York. Why would anybody be here?
Because it's the greatest state in the country?
Yeah, I guess. But, people talk about, like, all the cultural things, like you could go to museums.
Oh,
and
yeah.
plays.
We do that all the time. Every week I do that.
Yeah, I go once a year into Manhattan if I don't have to. You know what I mean? So we don't take advantage of it.
Well, but it's always nice that you could just jump on a train or and within an hour you're in there,
But is it worth all the aggravation that we go through here in New York?
You talk about, is it worth all the taxes you pay in New York?
That's the key thing. I have to tell you, though, Florida was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was down in Port St. Louis, thanks to shout out to Scott Veroline.
St. Louis?
St. Lucie.
Okay.
Port St. Lucie. Port St. Louis. I'm still there mentally. I want
guess
you to
you
know. It was just so nice, and I went to see the Mets in their practice facility.
Yep.
And it was like being at a high school.
And you saw Matt Harvey, pitch on that Saturday, right? Was that Friday or Saturday?
That was Friday.
Okay.
Friday.
You came home on
Matt
Saturday.
Harvey and Syndergaard both pitched.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? These guys, they were like little kids. They were just fooling around and they were having fun. And I got to meet my good pal, Wally Backman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I met Wally Backman, and I got a nice picture taken with Wally Backman. And then I was talking to my son James on the phone.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to, I had to talk to somebody while I was there, and I was telling him all about it. So who comes walking down the sidewalk?
Keith Hernandez.
No.
Okay.
Sandy Alderson.
Okay.
The Mets general manager, right?
Or as they call him, Alderspin. They call him these days.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
He's very good at what he does. So I have James on the phone. I says, hold on a second, Sandy Alderson's coming. So I have Sandy Alderson coming, and I'm talking to him for a few minutes about, hey, you're doing a great job. We're looking forward. And he says, thanks. And I realized I have James on the phone. So I said to Sandy Alderson, I said, hey, would you say hello to my son, James? So he picks up the phone. He goes, hello, James. He gives him the phone back. That was just the casual atmosphere that it was.
Very cool.
So I am going to be going there every spring for the rest of my life.
And I think the setup that you had, you were telling me, I guess, a couple of weeks ago that I guess it's your brother-in-law's or your brother's brother-in-law, I guess, has a piece of property
Right,
down there.
he owns a unit in the PGA Village.
And you said
all the Mets stay there.
that Collins stays there, right?
Yeah, Collins' father.
Yeah.
He passed away this year.
Okay.
But Collins' father used to live across the street from him.
Really?
And the Mets, Collins, David Wright, they say every night Collins is in the hot tub.
Really?
Just hanging out, and he just loves hanging out, talking to people. And so we had a really nice time. So I just decided from now on, I'm going down for a week every year.
Okay.
I'm just going to go there. I actually played golf.
Yeah.
Saw alligators.
Yeah, that's. I tell you, man, that's. I'm a little afraid of alligators.
Well, did you see the picture of the alligator that was walking across a golf course in Florida?
No, I did not.
Oh my God! It was like a prehistoric dinosaur.
Really?
It was about 15 feet long. It was just walking across the green. There's a sign in by the water.
Do not feed the alligators?
It says, "Do not feed the alligators." Right?
What am I going to feed them?
So I lost only one, maybe two balls in the water, right? But my brother hit a ball into like the fringe, and he's going down there going to get the ball. I said, "Are you crazy? Didn't you see Happy Gilmore?"
That's right, exactly right. I mean, when you posted that on Facebook, that's the first thing I thought about.
So it was pretty good. We had like a really nice time. But now I guess,
We're back in the freeze here a little bit.
So I guess it wasn't too bad. It was raining today. For some reason it rains every Saturday now.
Yeah, it does.
I notice whenever we're coming to the show now on Saturdays.
And we still got a little snow on the ground there, so depending upon where you are, you're driving through some fog too.
So let's get started with our 2015 Glory Days Baseball Extravaganza.
Okay, so first up we have our friend Greg Kohler from Seattle, is that right?
He's been on the show a number of times, and he was one of the founding fathers of the highly successful FireJohnIdzig.com movement. But today, he joins us to talk about baseball.
Are you sure about that?
Well, we're going to find out. Please welcome the program from the great state of Washington, Greg Kohler. Greg, you there?
Hello, Greg.
Hello. It was a good intro, though. Did we lose him? We might have lost him. We're going to try to get him back.
Okay.
There's been a lot of football news. Greg, you there?
Yes.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Okay.
I'm pretty good. I got a cold, so excuse my.
That's all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We're doing okay. Before we get into the
Seattle
baseball,
Mariners,
let's talk just a minute or two about those improving New York Jets.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes.
What the heck's been going on?
It's a typical Jets off season. We're all excited. We're winning.
What I want to know is, they bring back Revis, they bring back Cromartie, they trade for Brandon Marshall. What is Rex Ryan thinking right now?
Well, Rex Ryan picked up Percy Harvin today.
Yeah, he did. On a one-year deal. Percy's dumb. He should have stayed with us.
Yep.
He must be pulling his hair out.
He's got to be
pulling his hair out. I mean, oh my God. Ugh.
I'll tell you, the Patriots look like they
for
lost
him.
the most, and I'll tell you, every other team looks like they've improved. Rex has made some moves there, well, I guess Rex didn't make the moves, but Buffalo did. Miami's made a bunch of moves there, too. So I guess mission accomplished. John Idzik was fired. And I was doing a little research because I know there's been a lot of movements out there, so it's almost like people are copying you. And one of the copycats I thought of was the Knicks for sale, but I understand that's you guys too. Is that true?
Yeah, we're all Knicks fans. It's a much different. It's much different. Knicks fans are much different than Jets fans. That's for sure. There's plenty of anger out there, but most Knicks fans are in a wait and see approach. But we can't stand Dolan. And ever since that email came out, well, ever since. I mean, he's the worst of the worst.
But your target's a little different this time. It's not the general manager, it's the owner. You know what I mean? And it's a little tough to compel the owner to sell the team if he doesn't want to, you know?
Well, yeah, but it's not exactly. Well, we didn't go into it with the assumption that he's actually going to sell the team. It was more just hey, Dolan, like you're some billionaire owner that thinks you can do anything you want to do with absolutely no repercussions and talk to anyone whatever way you want to. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we're done with this. You can't act like this. This is not acceptable. So, I mean, we've raised some money and, we've gotten some traction. But it's slower. It's a slower paced game, that's for sure.
And there's also a movement, I guess, in Metland they're compelling Fred Wilpon, Jeff Wilpon, and Saul Katz. They want them to leave the team too. I guess they talked to you about that, but that's not you and your guys, right?
No, that has nothing to do with us. That's a different set of guys that are. They started that back in December, I think, actually.
I kind of like the new thing that you guys are working on to get Fireman Ed back, Eddie Anzalone.
Yeah. As the free season this week went on, we were just people were just tweeting us on Twitter, Facebook, and contacting us, and that was a theme that so many fans over and over and over again were saying we should bring Ed back. So we said, hey, you know what? If the fans are interested in something like that, then fine, we can get behind it. So so we'll see what happens. The Jet chance at the games has been. Just atrocious since he's left. So we need some energy back.
Well, you know what? It's not exactly. That's exactly right. At the end of last season, not only were all the fans upset, but we had lost whatever little hope we used to have. And that's all you ask for when the season begins is hope. You've got a hope. You've got a chance. It seems, if anything, the team is going in the right direction. So, but we'll save that for the 2015 football extravaganza.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
And we don't want. I know that even though you live in Seattle, you're not a big Seattle Seahawks fan, but we don't even want to talk about that last play in the Super Bowl.
No.
Oh my goodness. At any rate, let's talk about something brand new. Let's talk about the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, they have a good team. And over the last 3 years, I would say the Mariners in many ways mirror the New York Mets, and by that I mean in terms of improvements. They have a very deep pitching team,
right?
And
they can't hit the ball.
Team.
And they can't hit the ball.
And that's exactly it. But last year they were able to, with getting Robinson Cano, they were starting to hit the ball and they were starting to score some runs. And obviously they got Nelson Cruz in the offseason, who proved he can still hit home runs whether he's taking steroids or not.
Right.
So,
they got Felix Hernandez. Still got Felix Hernandez, who finished second in the Cy Young.
Right.
And they finished one game behind, I guess, Oakland for the second wild card there.
Right.
So
they almost made it last year.
Yeah. I think they're going to contend for the ALS this year for sure. I think they will. They have a great bullpen too.
Well, that was the thing. They were everybody last year, they all talked about that Kansas City bullpen and how great it was. But the Mariner bullpen was actually better.
Really?
They had the number one bullpen in the American League last year.
It was great. If they could get 5, 6, 7 innings, they were winning the game. They had a great bullpen. And, they had injuries at starting pitching that hurt them, of course, and who doesn't, right? Every team does.
Right.
But they are on track. I said after last year watching them, I said, you know what, especially with the A's taking the steps back that you'd assume they took with losing the players, Billy Beane traded away. I think they're going to win the ALS. I really do. I think the Mariners they're primed to do it. They're set to do it. They have a really, really, really good chance to do it. They have a really good team. They really
picked
do.
up, I guess one of the other off-season acquisitions was pitcher J.A. Happ, although I guess I'm reading that they expect him to be gone by about the All-Star game. I guess we'll see,
Yeah. And one of their other starters also right now is injured, and they expect him back in a few weeks. So forgetting his name off the top of my head. Yeah, they're good. It's funny, they really do mirror the Mets in so many ways. It's very strange. I've been looking at them as the Mets of the West because obviously they signed Cano, and the Mets aren't spending big money. The Mariners are spending money.
Right.
They have, I'm pretty sure it's way over $100 million payroll at this point. So I mean, they're going for it, and you know, it's great. I'm actually kind of excited to see it. They have a lot of young players I've watched come from the minors and develop, like Seager and Dustin Ackley started hitting last year, and they definitely have a chance. Definitely have a chance.
So how many games do you go to? You go to a lot of Mariner games during the season or not?
Yeah, I usually go to like maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
I went to the games last year because the Mets were out here last year, so I went to those games. Of course. I had some Red Sox fans out here. The friends, they're Sox fans, so we go to those games too. Because the Sox come out here every year. So yeah, I get to go. It's a beautiful stadium. Great baseball stadium.
So do you think that this team makes the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they're going to contend for the AL West title. I think. Yeah, I think they definitely make the playoffs. I think they can win the division. I do.
Not being out in the West here, I'm not sure who their biggest rivals are. Who are the Mariners' biggest rivals out there?
You know, I mean, it's
Oakland?
Great question. They've been so bad for so long.
Okay.
I don't really know if they have much of a rival.
I see.
I mean, it'd probably be the A's, I guess, at this point. Either that or the Rangers, but you know, the Rangers aren't very good. So I'd go with the A's probably.
The Oakland A's. Okay, the team that I guess they were the last wild card, right? I mean, right?
Yeah, they were the last wild card last year. All right, so let's see real fast what the Sammy Stone has to say about.
Okay,
Seattle
we got
Mariners.
Greg here saying that that they're going to make the playoffs.
Sammy Stone.
Should have worn my shades.
Sammy Stone.
Yo,
Tell me the future.
you better start making sense.
Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
You just gotta ask.
Will the Seattle Mariners make the playoffs this year?
Check with me later.
Okay. Non-committal as ever.
As ever.
The Stone Man.
The Stone. You know, sometimes he says,
What
shut
do you
up.
guys think of the Mets, real quick? Are you
Well,
optimistic?
I think we're going to have Bobby Baseball on in a little while talking about the Mets here too. I'm encouraged for this year, although I'll tell you, you know, they got a little problem. It looks like with the left-handed relief pitching, and
Right.
I guess the news about
Wheeler.
Scott Wheeler wasn't good today either. You know.
Well, they didn't. Well, did they say whether he's going to need?
No, they just think it's going to be.
Well, you
rest.
know what?
They say he had a problem last year
I'm
too.
kind of cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm obviously you sit there and you say, "Oh, I hope the pitching holds up."
Yeah.
But it seems like we've got a lot. So if we were to lose Wheeler,
Yeah.
that means all of a sudden
Dylan G
Dylan
moves
G
into
has
the-
a spot.
yep.
And that may also open a spot for Syndergaard,
Yep.
who pitched fantastic yesterday. I mean, he was a little iffy the first game. You know, he's gigantic.
Is he?
This guy.
He's 6'6".
He's 6'6". You know, he walked past me while I was at spring training.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who he was. He was just this monster of a guy. He's a full foot taller than me.
Wow.
I came up to the word Mets on his jersey.
I kind of
you
remember
know?
years ago we went to pick my brother up at the airport, and we ran into
Remember
Bill
Bill
Walton at
Walton?
the
Yeah.
airport. And I
In
tell
the
you, man,
bathroom.
Of course, he's like 6'10" or 6'11" or something. So man,
You don't have too many 6'10" guys with red hair.
that's right. Are you Bill Walton? You know?
Remember, we tried to shake his hand in the bathroom.
He
and we
played
were
for
like-
Seattle too, didn't
Yeah.
he?
I think he did.
Yeah.
The Supersonics
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what? Again, cautiously optimistic. They got to hit the ball. Same thing as with Seattle.
And they got to field the ball at shortstop too.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing. You know what I didn't like so far, Greg, is that they're making a lot of errors.
Well, he's made 3
Yep.
errors, Wilmer Flores. I mean, he's going to hit. He's probably going to hit. It looks like he's hitting right now.
And I know that Duda hasn't played yet at first base, and he's a much better first baseman than either
Campbell.
Kadire or Campbell
God,
from
yeah.
a fielding perspective. But the game I went to, there were 3 errors at first base. One was on, they gave one to him at first base. I think Kadaya was playing first. Campbell played the second half of the game, and then the other two were throwing errors. But they weren't 10 feet over his head.
It's like, it's in the dirt and you gotta scoop it up,
Where is Keith Hernandez?
That's a
when
good
you
question.
Yeah.
Well, we know what Keith is.
Yeah.
Listen, one of the things that Terry Collins mentioned in the paper, I think yesterday, was about how, you're going to have this great pitching staff. You got to have guys that can catch the ball behind
That's right.
them.
That's right.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not gonna strike out everybody.
No, they're not going to strike out everyone, although they're going to try.
Well, Sandy Alderson seems to think, oh, they're all fly ball pitchers anyway, so it doesn't really matter. They're not ground ball pitchers.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're bringing in the fences.
Yeah, exactly.
We're bringing in the fences on a team that has a lot of fly ball pitchers.
Alderson never says two things that make sense together. I mean, he's always contradicting himself.
Well, let's just hope they. It's definitely a plus 500 team this year. It has to be. This is an 85 win team, I think. Whether that's going to be enough to get them in, with when you look at what Washington's done, what Miami has done, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about Philadelphia realistically. So, I don't know. We got to get over the mental hump of beating Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm 85 too. That's where I've been kind of been as well. I think they're about 85 wins.
All righty,
they still
Greg.
have to hit him. Not yet, but. So,
Hey, man, thanks for getting up so early and talking to us today.
absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy it.
And
Take
let's
care.
go Mets and Jets.
All right.
Yes. Talk to you later.
All righty, Greg, thanks. That's Greg Kohler.
So we're just getting started here on the Glory Days show. We got two more reports coming on our 2015 Glory Days Baseball Extravaganza. We'll bring in a new correspondent from St. Louis to talk about the Cardinals. And waiting in the wings is Bobby Baseball, talk about the New York Mets. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRavio TV network. Coming right back.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Rich Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from InRavio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to enravio.com/join the team.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco here on the Enravio TV network. Most baseball players agree that one of the best places to play baseball is in St. Louis, where the Cardinals have had the most success of any National League franchise. I guess you can kind of call them the Yankees of the National League, although nobody wants to be associated with the Yankees. On our phone is a first-time correspondent for Glory Days from the Show Me State of Missouri. Please welcome Jake Krebs. Jake, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, guys.
Hey,
Okay.
Jake, how are you? Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I've been looking forward to it all week.
I know. I've been looking forward to talking to you all week. You know, one thing about St. Louis is, you know, St. Louis used to have a tremendous rivalry with the Mets when we were in the same division.
Yeah.
And we just could never get over the hump to beat them. And when we finally did that, we finally beat them in like '85, and that really set the stage for '86,
Yeah.
the year that the Mets last won the World Series. And there was an early season series in St. Louis that the Mets swept, and that really propelled them to the domination that they had in '86. But since then, the rivalry has kind of lost its, you know, it's
Lost
kinda
its
lost
sheen
its luster.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, but you've been in St. Louis. You've been a St. Louis fan all your life, correct?
Yeah, I sure have, and actually, while we're on the Mets St. Louis rivalry, I have to say, guys, that I've been to Citi Field, and I've encountered the rivalry firsthand, and it's a fun little stadium you guys got there, and the fans were nothing but accommodating. Honestly, probably the most pleasant fans I've ever met.
I'll tell you the thing I love about the Cardinals is the only team the Mets have no hit is the St. Louis Cardinals. You know?
I got to give it to you guys.
I was at that game. I'll tell you what, there were a lot of St. Louis fans, though. I guess, you know, it's kind of like Red Sox Nation. I think St. Louis has a lot of fans all over the place. I really do.
The one thing that I always liked about St. Louis, and you hear the players talk about it, is that they love their team no matter what. You know what I mean? This is a team that had Albert Pujols, and they lost Albert Pujols, and since then they've made the playoffs 4 straight years.
Yep, 11 out of the last 15 years. They're a great franchise. They really are.
How do they do it, man? Jake, what's the secret out there? Is it the water? Is it the archway? Is it like some sort of magnetic
I think
thing
it's
on the archway?
Budweiser beer is what I think it is.
It is. It has to be the beer, guys. It's the brews. But no, I actually just, to be honest with you guys, thinking about it, it's got to be the farm system. It's actually something that the Cardinals kind of innovated in a way. We had Branch Rickey in the early days, and the farm system is something that the Cardinals have embraced very heavily. And it just seems like, you know, year after year, when there's a void, you know, at the big level, you know, the farm system's producing, and they're going to fill that void.
Next man up, right?
I'm sorry?
Next man up.
Oh, exactly. It's just
Yep.
been the replication and the tradition of that farm system, and it's produced. It's been very fruitful for the Cardinals, thankfully.
So I guess the question mark this year is Adam Wainwright, right? I guess he's had surgery on his cartilage in his right elbow.
Right.
How's that going?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a little bit of some cleanup of some cartilage there, and it seems like that's not been the issue. But he did have a little hiccup early on, as you guys might have heard, there with that abdominal strain. Supposedly, though, he's very quick to recover, and he's looking at being back on the mound here throwing to live hitters once again, and he's probably going to be our opening day guy, hopefully, if things go accordingly. It sounds like his rehab's going quite well.
So, Jake, you get to a lot of games there?
Yeah, I do. I can't say I get to as many as I used to.
Uh-huh.
In my college days, I mean, gosh, my buddies and I, we were going to 20, 25 games a
Wow,
year.
that's a lot of games.
Which was, it was just incredible. And we had a great connection there. Our school was connected right on the Metro Link, which is kind of like our subway, and we would just hop on the train and go on down to Busch Stadium. And, yeah, honestly, we get to 20, 25 games a year. But I'd say right now I'm getting to probably about 10 games a year.
Okay. That's a fair baseball fan, I can tell you that.
You know
so
what-
who are the biggest rivals? I guess I guess it's always a rivalry with Chicago, and I guess Chicago really upgraded this year, so it should
Right.
be that should be a pretty exciting series, I guess, or
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to be probably the most exciting NL Central we've seen in years. And the Cubs did have a big upgrade, and actually I have to give a shout-out to my wife, who I'm sad to say she is a Cubs fan. I married a North
Yes, she
Sider.
is.
Yep. So there's a lot of NL Central love here in this household, and it's going to be quite exciting there with the Cubs and the Cards.
Well, this is your first year. Have you had your anniversary yet?
Oh yeah, we've had our anniversary.
Okay.
We got married in 2013, so so we survived 1 year as a Cubs Cards household. Yeah.
But you've never survived a year where the Cubs are going to be good.
yeah, that's true.
This is a true test of my marriage right here. You got that.
You know, they got a lot of promise this year, especially with they've got a completely new attitude this year with Madden as their manager.
Yep. So the big acquisition, I guess, is Jason Hayward from the Braves.
Right. Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, do you?
I
Yeah.
love that guy.
Yeah.
What a great
Yeah,
outfielder.
I really think it was a great trade. It was a great mutual trade. We acquired him from Atlanta for Shelby Miller, and Shelby Miller had all the upside in the world, and everyone in St. Louis here appreciated him here as a good arm. But gosh, what an upgrade I think there in right field, and this kid he's quick, he's agile, he's powerful. He's a Gold Glover. It's quite exciting here in St. Louis.
The only issue that they have with him is exactly what went on with the Islanders this year with Leddy and Boychuk. Hayward's in the last year of his contract, so they're hoping that all he needs is 1 year in St. Louis to realize what a great place
Right,
it is to play,
right.
and they'll be able to
Right.
sign him to a long-term extension.
Yep.
What do we think is going to happen this year? Is St. Louis, they probably make the playoffs. 11 out of, what'd you say, 11 out of 15 years?
11 out of 15. Yeah.
11 out of 15 years, they make the playoffs. Now, they've been to the NLCS 4 consecutive years. That's a tough row,
Yeah.
What do you think?
I have to say here, if I had to just throw a number out there, I think this is probably a 94, 95 win team.
Better than last
which-
year. Wow.
Yeah, I really think it's an upgrade from last year, which is maybe hard to believe, but you still have a young manager in Mike Matheny, and as he's been here for just a short while and still proven to be a playoff manager. But I think this is an upgraded team. I really do, and I think if the 5-man rotation there with Waino and Lynn and Mike Waka and the veteran John Mackey can really step up and be healthy, I think this is a better team than last year.
I think one of the things that they've done for baseball is that they've showed other teams that you could bring up your young pitchers, even though they're starters, put them in the bullpen, let them get bullpen work, and still make them starters. The Mets are not buying into that philosophy
Right,
yet
that's right.
with Syndergaard
Or
Matz
Matz, yeah.
or Mateo or Montero. They're not buying into that yet. Jake, we're gonna ask our good friend. We have a guy on the show. His name is Sammy Stone, and he makes predictions. Hold on, Sammy Stone.
On my shades.
Sammy Stone.
Talking brightness here.
Sammy
That's
Stone.
better. About time.
Sammy Stone.
Thank you.
Sammy Stone.
About time. We're talking brightness here.
Sammy Stone.
Good guess.
Tell me the future.
Sure. Ask away.
Will the St. Louis Cardinals make the playoffs this year?
Don't hold your breath.
Ooh.
So you're in trouble. The Stone has spoken.
He's our maven. He's our baseball maven. He knows everything about baseball.
Please remember,
God.
Sammy Stone is wrong almost 97% of the time.
That's right.
Oh gosh.
But we like to hear him talk. Hey, Jake, this has been great talking to you.
Yeah, I really appreciate being on the show, guys, and hopefully we can do this again. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, we'll absolutely bring you back. Whenever, during the course of the year, things happen. I know that you're, obviously, if you're a St. Louis fan, you must be jacked about the Cardinals this year, considering that, they got rid of Bradford. How do you make that trade?
Well, the Cardinals.
I mean, the Rams.
Of course, you're jacked about the Cardinals. Okay, the Rams.
Well, if anything, I mean, what's been so great about this trade is it's kind of distracted St. Louis from all the rumors of the team leaving, really, because that's all we talked about here on sports radio and,
Right. Yep.
and being fans. It's about the Rams leaving. So if anything else, this trade at least distracted us from that. I'll tell you that.
Well, the guy who owns the team is building a football stadium in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's kind of a little bit of a red flag.
You could say that. Yeah, you could certainly say that.
But you know what? That's a tremendous upgrade from Sam Bradford, considering what has Bradford played, 2 games in the last 2 years? Something like
it's
that?
a questionable move that Philadelphia made.
And
yeah.
Nick Foles is a good quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, just several years back. I mean, wasn't he like a 13-game winner or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
I
a
don't
proven
know.
contender.
I don't know. I mean, all of a sudden, the NFL has turned into fantasy football. It's amazing. It's turned into fantasy football. Players moving, trades. I never saw anything like this in the NFL.
It's crazy. That's why I'm surprised we're talking about baseball today.
There was an article in the paper about how sales of NFL jerseys are down because people are afraid to buy jerseys with players' names on them anymore.
Okay, yeah, but teams are really working with the fans. They're letting them bring them in and getting an upgrade.
All righty, Jake.
Great talking to you there, Jake. Thanks for being our St. Louis correspondent here. We look forward to talking to you during the season. Good luck. You disagree with Sam. Sam Stone disagrees with you, though. It says he says the St. Louis Cardinals are not going to make the playoffs. I kind of agree with you. I think you're right.
Hey, listen, when you guys come to New York to see your mother-in-law, you let me know and we'll all go to a ball game.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. I'd love to do it again. And, yeah, City was just a total joy. So if we can get back to City Field and hang out with you guys, that'd be perfect.
Absolutely,
Great.
man. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Good talking to
Thanks.
you.
You guys take it easy. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. That's
All
Jake
right.
Krebs from St. Louis.
So we're going to take another break here on the Glory Day Show. When we get back, we'll talk to our New York Mets. We'll talk about our New York Mets with Bobby Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to enravio.com/join the team.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Enravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Enravio TV network. It's been a long time since we Met fans have had a real reason to be optimistic as a new baseball season begins. After 6 years of missing the playoffs and having the season over sometime after the All-Star break, the Mets are giving their fans something that we haven't had for a long time. That's hope. With one of the strongest and deepest pitching staffs in all of baseball, the Mets are poised to take over New York once again, if they can score some runs and play some defense, something they had problems with last year. On our phone is a young protege who has never experienced what this town is like when the Mets are up and the Yankees are down. Please welcome our baseball maven, 14-year-old Bobby O'Brien. Bobby
Hey guys,
Baseball. How are you, Bobby?
I'm great. I'm really good.
Good. Hey, you know, before we get started on the Mets, I think we gave you a homework assignment last time, and that
Yes.
was to find out what a maven is. Did you find out what a maven was?
Yes, I looked it up, and I want to Google and everything, but I did not remember.
Okay, it's a trusted expert in a particular field, is what it is. Okay,
Yes.
I looked it up today too. Okay.
Okay.
So, would you rather be a maven or a maiden?
No, he's a man.
Probably it's the first choice.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. So the Mets. I guess spring always is, you know, eternal optimism here.
Yeah, yeah. Their rotation's looking good, and their bullpens, they got a lot of options there. But recently, I just found out that Zach Wheeler,
Yeah.
Josh Edgin, and Vic Black all have some sort of minor injury.
Right. Black, I
And-
just saw, was a shoulder injury.
Yeah,
But
and-
Wheeler and Edgin are elbow injuries. The
Yeah, I'm
elbow
not sure.
injuries
So
always make
I
us
think
nervous.
Edgin is saying is the most serious of all three of them.
Wheeler
So
got scratched from his start too, and I was hoping he would start on opening day. But if his elbow's bothering him, then I don't know if you can put him out there.
Right.
So I guess it was a good move that the Mets didn't get rid of Dylan G yet. You know, it looks like maybe, you know, I mean, it was a log jam there. So he's the next man up, I guess, if we have a problem with Zach.
I heard some talk about people thinking that he's gonna get moved to the bullpen, and Bartolo Colon's gonna get that fifth spot in the rotation. I think I would prefer if it would be the other way around. I think Colon's getting old, and he might be better off taking less innings and have Dylan G take that fifth spot, where he's shown signs of being a good to great starting pitcher at times.
You know, I got to go to spring training last week, and Syndergaard walked right past me, and the guy is a monster. He's 6'6", and watching him warm up, my seats at the ball game were directly. We're about two rows away from where the Mets bullpen is. That's an outside bullpen. And watching him throw, I says, man, you know, even on my best day, not that I could hit it, I couldn't even swing at some of the stuff they were throwing.
Yeah.
Both him and Harvey. And I got to say, if the starting pitching holds up, I don't see a lot of use for middle relief pitchers. You know what I mean? Middle relief pitchers are for the teams that have weak 4 and 5 pitchers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That could be true, but if DeGrom was a one-hit wonder, or if Cologne just can't do it anymore because he's getting too old, I don't see it happening. But if something like that could happen, you have a guy like Torres who can come in and shut guys down last year, and then you have Dylan G, who actually is a starter and could come in and eat up a bunch of innings until you get to the back end of the bullpen with Familia and Vic Black.
Right, and I also think that obviously they're going to take it a little easy with Harvey this year.
Yes.
So I don't see Harvey going into the 8th and 9th innings until after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
No, I
Barring
don't think
whatever's
so.
happening. But, I mean, you got to think about this. If he's pitching a no-hitter going into the 7th inning, what do? Do you just leave him? You can't
Well,
take him
that's a
out.
good question, especially considering what happened with Johan Santana.
That's
He
right.
put through 130-something pitches that year, right? And he was never the same guy after that. He
that's
really
what I'm
wasn't,
thinking. I think if he's throwing a no-hitter after the 7th inning, he is the future, and he's just coming off the Tommy John surgery.
Right.
If his pitch count is high, then you got to take him out. You
Yeah.
can't risk it with him.
I agree. That'd be a nice problem to have, I guess.
So let's talk about the Mets by position here real fast. Obviously, the infield, Flores is hitting 500.
Yeah, and he's also made 3 errors,
So I'm not sure if he is still the answer. Although the kid shortstop right behind him, he hit a home run.
Yeah.
The other night, and he's all hit no field. So we're not helping ourselves with another guy that can hit the ball.
Yep.
I think come opening day, Wilmer Flores is going to be the guys there. I still think they should have went out and got someone in free agency.
Right.
Maybe they'll pick someone up early in the season if they're in contention. But right now, as of right now, I think opening day, Wilmer Flores is going to be starting at shortstop.
Right. Now, the outfield, the infield, you'll have Wright at third, Murphy at second, and Duda at first. So there's no question marks there.
No.
Darno is the catcher. He changed his number, by the way.
Did he?
He changed his number to number 7.
Okay.
Eddie Kranepool.
You'll be Brooks.
But he used to have 15, which was Jerry Gross.
Something I didn't know about him, though, is that he led the league in passed balls last year.
Yes, he
even
did.
Even though he only caught 102 games, and he only threw out 14% of the base runners that tried to steal.
He
against him.
had as many pass balls last year as Mike Piazza had in his whole career.
Wow.
Which was an amazing thing.
Yep.
But let's talk about the outfield for a second.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about everybody but Juan Lagares?
Absolutely. Michael Kadire, I thought when they first got him, I'm not sure why I wasn't aware of this, but I thought he was 32, and then I was watching a spring training game, and I saw that he was 35. He did win a batting title 2 years ago.
Right.
But he's gray. His hair is gray.
He is. He looks like when I
He looks
saw
like
him.
me.
But when I saw him on the, at the game,
Yeah.
everybody's warming up, and they don't usually have their hats on while they're warming up. He looked like a coach.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who he was.
Yeah.
He might be. I want to have confidence in him. He might be able to bat above 300, and if he does, that's great. All we need for him to do is bat above 300. But he's also a great veteran. He has got great leadership. I've heard a bunch of young players talk about him as a great veteran presence, guiding them through spring training. So that's another big advantage for him. But he's like Cologne. I just don't know if he can do it anymore as he gets older every year.
I have to tell you, I like the lineup that they had. The lineup that they put out there on that opening day game in Port St. Lucie. You look at, they had Murphy. They didn't have Murphy batting second. They had Murphy batting fifth, which I kind of liked, because Murphy drives the ball. He's not a home run hitter. He's not a home run hitter, but he does drive the ball.
Yeah, he does. He could be their best hitter. Last year was their best hitter, maybe.
And actually, who looked weak? They had Granderson as the number 2 batter instead of the leadoff batter. It was Lagares, who's doing very well so far in the leadoff spot.
Of course.
Granderson, Wright, and I'm a little concerned about Wright in that number 3 hole now. I think I'd rather have Murphy in the 3 hole and Wright in the 5 hole.
Okay.
I think I would rather have that because they put Kadire in as 4.
I hope that Curtis Granderson has a good year. I mean, the fact the Mets went after his former hitting coach, Kevin Long. You're reunited with him. Hopefully that works out for him. I've read some good things about him too, and he's very positive influence on the team.
Do you know who's got a really nice swing? John Mayberry Jr.
Yeah. Well, he was a good acquisition too. I
So
think,
he'll be an outfielder, and Neuenhuis will be the other outfielder.
Yeah, Neuenhuis will be the other outfielder.
Neuenhuis
Another
is
guy
tearing the ball
Yeah.
up in spring training.
Yeah, there was another rookie who they brought up for spring training who's been hitting pretty well, Cesar Puelo.
Yes.
I don't know if I said his name right. He could be another bench player for the team. I'm not
And then what do you
completely
do
sure
with
about him.
Den Decker?
Yeah.
It's like they're competing for that outfield spot. I'm not sure who they're gonna bring up on opening day. I think they're leaning towards Den Decker, but I like Puelo. I like what he's been doing.
So we're going to have to see now. So
The key is really going to be how the Mets play against Philadelphia and Atlanta. Those look like the two teams that are down. They play 19 games against each of those teams, and they need to do better against Washington than they did last year. They were 4-15 against Washington.
I think Washington is in their head right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, Washington looks really good.
And you look at their rotation. My God, Strasburg, Gonzalez. They add Scherzer.
Yeah.
They have what's the other two guys?
Zimmerman, Pfister.
Zimmerman. Now, but the only thing about that starting rotation is there's nothing behind that rotation. Okay, any one of those guys gets hurt or whatever, they don't have a person to plug in.
That's true. Like the Mets do have people like that. They have Syndergaard in the minors, who looks like he's getting closer to be ready.
Right.
And you have Durangee, and Carlos Torres might be able to take a start. He did it one time last year.
Yep.
And you have Gonzalez Herman, who I think is going to be in the minors at the start of the season. They could bring him up to get a start.
And look at what the first round pick last year, the guy from Long Island, Steve Matz.
Steve Matz, from Setauket.
He's a lefty. We need a lefty in the bullpen right now. But they said they're not going to bring him up to work out in the bullpen.
Yeah, pitch in the bullpen.
So Bobby, I think this is an 85-win team.
I'm not sure. I hope they get above 85 so they have a chance to make the playoffs, because there are a lot of good teams who are going to be competing for that wild card spot, like the Giants and the Pirates. And the Nationals will probably win the division, and the Cardinals will win their division, and even the Padres in the West. I don't think they're going to win their division, but I think they'll be able to contend for a wild
All right,
card.
well, let's find out what Sammy Stone thinks.
Did he burp?
I hope there was a burp.
Did he just burp or what? Okay.
Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
You just gotta ask.
Will the Mets make the playoffs this year?
Check with me later.
No, we can't check with you later. We're running out of time. Sammy Stone.
Good guess.
Will the Mets make the playoffs?
Am I missing something here?
Sammy Stone.
Yo.
Tell me the future.
What, are you nuts?
Sammy Stone.
You got him.
Tell me the future.
Hey, speak English.
All right, that's it. We're running out of time.
Bye-bye. Cut him off. Check his papers.
I need a new Sammy Stone. All right, Bobby, thanks a lot.
Hey, great talking to you, Bobby.
We're going to try and put together a Mets-Yankees forum coming up in a couple of weeks, where we're going to bring in some Yankee fans into the studio, and we'd love to have you come into the studio and help represent us Mets fans.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right, man.
Good talking to you.
Thanks, Bobby. That's
no
our good pal, Bobby Baseball.
Yep.
All righty. You made it this far. Hang out. One more break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up real fast, I promise. You watch The Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco only on the InRavio TV network. We're coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to InRavio.com/join the team.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. So what did we learn today?
One thing I learned is you really can't count on Sammy Stone here, man.
No,
You know?
Sammy Stone. Sammy Stone has been an embarrassment.
If there was a hook, I'd be hooking him out of here right now, man.
Shall we give him one more shot?
Why?
Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
Okay, ask me.
Are the Mets going to make the playoffs this year?
That ain't gonna happen.
Oh, maybe we should have left it where he didn't say.
Maybe we could take a baseball bat and hit him over the head with it.
Then again, maybe that's good news that Sammy Stone
That's
says
true.
the
He
Mets
does have a great track record.
So we learned that...
and today is National Pie Day or International Pie Day.
Yes, International Pie Day. You know, the federal government, the House of Representatives voted to make it an official day.
You know, with all the problems we have in Washington, why the hell did they? No, I guess it was last year, right? You know, so.
Well, it was a couple of years. It was 2009.
2009. Okay. Oh yeah, things were a lot better in 2009.
So now,
I guess.
what are you going to do tonight to celebrate Pi at 9:26 and 53 seconds tonight?
I'm going to have a pizza. I guess. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. You know, people brought pies into school and stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to bring a pie to shove in your face.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been really good, man. You know.
But I was trying to figure out how I was going to hide it for the whole show.
Yeah, and if you do that, make sure you get somebody to start your car up next time, okay? You know.
But I guess you know, it is kind of an amazing thing. It's never going to happen in our lifetime again. You know, it's just it's a one-time thing that it's exact to the second, right? I mean, you know, you think about it. There could have been a 9 stuck in those first couple of digits or something, but it worked out. It worked out too perfectly.
It did. It did.
You know. So we had we learned a little bit about St. Louis today. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. We heard we learned a little bit about Seattle.
Yep.
Today. And the fact that people don't go to as many baseball games as they used to.
Well, ticket prices are up, right? You know.
Oh my God! You know, I still don't have tickets for opening day.
No.
All right. Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work making us look so good.
Yes.
Out here.
Okay.
Because it's difficult to make us look good. And thanks to our baseball correspondents, Greg Kohler from Seattle, Jake Krebs from St. Louis, and Bobby Baseball from right here on Long Island. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. And of course, thanks you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget to check out the Glory Days on-demand page, www.inravio.com. You can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the inravio.com
TV network.
Next week, we'll have correspondence reports from our good friend Bill Chandler with the Braves. Trey Looney returns to talk about the Houston Astros. And from the deep south of Florida, a personal old friend of ours, Stu Schiffman, makes his Glory Days debut.
I always say long-time friend. When you say old, it implies they're getting old, you know, which we are too. You know.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
InRavio.com.